Andy Lewin, welcome back.
Stephen Radford.
Welcome back
Hi.
to the podcast. Hi.
Thank you very much. All right. Hey,
We're great at starting these podcasts.
Another great starter.
Another great starter, and I can't wait to get into this one because, Andy, guess what?
What?
The clock is running.
Tick tock. Actually, the clock is silent running.
Silent running. You did it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a digital clock.
It's
we're
so it's
'cause
not
it's
even
sci-fi.
ticking. It's sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's a little tiny watch thing with digital display, or does it go beep 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 beep?
Yeah.
Just like those alarm clocks. Oh,
Yeah.
you can't. Oh, I can't wait to talk about this. Andy, our fans, everybody who's been listening to Frame by Frame ever since we said we were going to do Silent Running in Outlander. Was it Outlander?
Today's
Outlander.
the day.
It's about time because they've been waiting for this episode to come out.
Yes.
So here we
I
go.
want to see Sean Connery get mad, and they want us to talk about how mad Sean Connery can get.
And Bruce Dern, you know?
Bruce Dern
Going absolutely...
I'm gonna do it. Shana with the Edgar Winter Group doing it for you at 10:06.
You're careening along all out of control down the Acme Highway. You weave and roll. It's a dead-end road that has no soul till you put the brakes on breakouts. Get in the driver's seat with a brand new phone with a
Good God, Bruce. This is me, Sam Raimi. On the, God damn it, was it the 26th of May, 1976. Bruce, Mr. Campbell. I'm not going to take it anymore. You messed with the radio. I can't even get one of the many pirate radio stations we worked so hard to find. But I suppose it doesn't matter now that I have this Sony TC55. It's a sound recorder. Yeah, I get to play around with it first. Would you believe that this was donated to me by a couple of British guys who mentioned that they had a radio show, but they talk about movies on that radio show, frame by frame. But in any case, if I do forget, listen back to this and remember the name Frame by Frame. Look that up. Not to get ahead of myself, I will probably mention that I'm still on the way to San Francisco Film Festival, looking out for those investors that we so dearly want. It's worth everybody knowing that we are going to go the extra mile. Speaking of which, those two British guys who gave me the sound recorder, they're right behind me, passed out on the back seat of the 88. I agreed to take them for a ride. It's a funny story, actually. They told me that they wanted to get across to Devil's Tower in Wyoming, of all places. I mean, I told them sure, but it would cost them. They gave me $300. They didn't even think twice about handing me the Sony TC55, which clinched the deal.
I've just had another vision. How close are we?
We're Sam. Are we anywhere near Devil's Tower yet?
Hey guys, welcome to the land of the living again. We're about an hour away.
Yeah, just okay. It says an hour tops.
Oh, fantastic! I could just see the tower, and I could just see this huge sort of ship behind it. I don't know what it means, but it was so vivid.
Yeah, exactly. It's so vivid. I mean, really. And Bob, just don't oversell it. He doesn't know that this movie is going to be made yet.
Oh, okay. It wasn't that vivid.
Yeah, it was just vague. Yeah,
Vague.
It's the drugs.
Fake tower.
Drugs. fake Devil Tower.
I just get a feeling that this is his next thing.
Yeah, exactly. You're with us.
I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to witness it.
Okay, yeah, well, Sam doesn't believe it's going to happen, but he's happy to drop us off. But, hey, Sam, by the way, this car, runs like a dream.
Gee, thanks. I really appreciate that. It's nice to hear.
Yeah.
We don't get cars like this. This is big and comfy. You know.
How long have you had this car?
Actually, it's my mother's car.
Oh, it's your mother's car. Okay. Yeah.
Whatever you go on to do, you've got to involve this car in some way, no matter what it is.
Yeah, I hear you, boy. I hear you.
You've got to involve this car in some way, Sam.
You know, Bob's right. You just, no matter what project you work on, put this car right in there.
Not a bad idea.
Because it's going to give you good luck.
I think so. And if in the future you make friends with two directors who've got like sort of like maybe the last name might be Cohen, and they make a film about this dude who's like a stoner, give him the car and let them use the car for a film.
The Coens? You know the Coens? I go to college with the Coen brothers.
Yeah, college, dude, college.
You guys know the Coen brothers?
No, they're gonna. I'm pretty sure, you know, you are all gonna have really nice, you know, bright futures. You just stick with it. Stick with it. These films are eventually gonna sell. I'm pretty sure.
Are they the same Coen brothers? That must be.
You see.
Sure thing.
So
Just sat in the back of this comfy car with a guitar.
That's
About to
great.
go camping on Devil's Tower for some reason.
Yeah.
Just being there.
It's
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. Do you think Spielberg's going to be there filming?
I think so. I really do. I really think so.
I mean, okay. Well, here we are.
Come by, Lord. Come by.
Bye, Sam.
Next up, San Francisco. See you later, fellas.
Bye, Sam.
Thanks.
Thanks
Take
for-
care.
thanks for the lift.
Good luck at the San Francisco Film Festival. I hope you negotiate lots of money and business for your next great film. I think he's going.
That guy's going to go far. He's a nice guy.
I can't
Yeah, he's
believe
gonna be
we ran into Sam Raimi on the way over here. I mean, it just
Yeah.
of all the cars to actually hit your thumb with. Let's
Yeah.
go over to that dino wagon over there and see if they've got anything that's edible that looks like something you can play with.
Yeah, there's a lot of people around it. They look like they're part of a film crew.
Ready? Places, everybody.
Hey, look at that. Hey, there's craft services. That's not just any diner, that's just craft services. And look, they've got mashed potato.
Oh, I'm
This
gonna
is a sign.
order me some mashed potato. Paul.
Good old Wyoming mashed potato. Hey, I just think those two schmucks in the future are probably talking about silent running and Outland right now.
Having a great time, and we're tripping over our.
Oh,
Stephen, what do you think of this? Yeah, you can have that. Don't worry about it. Go away.
that's Steven Spielberg.
Oh, Steven Spielberg with a hat on.
It only falls
Wait.
apart when you start to intellectualize it, because of course it's two things too big. What did it do? Dig a hole in the ground and come out of a hole?
All the crew and the cast here are wearing Close Encounters t-shirts. I mean, he really puts his marketing ahead of everything.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, they've got the font and everything.
Yeah.
Although I do think they should change it from Comic Sans. Should we just give it? Hey, I think you should change the font. Comic Sans doesn't work. It's the most hated font in the world. Yeah, that one. That one's great. That one's more. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
What,
show-
Stephen? Yeah, it's this. Yeah, just add it into the film. Trust me.
Yeah.
Work it in.
And that was, and it just sounded right.
Yeah.
But you've just solved the song. I mean, that little tune. John Williams, I'm sure he would have come up with that, right?
Well, because obviously that guy who was next to Stephen, that was John Williams, and he jotted it down.
Oh, I didn't recognize him without the beard.
That's it. Well, it's it's now John Williams, not young John Williams. It's now John Williams, but that was him.
You see, there's no wonder they chose this location. I mean, if you just think about it, all this weirdness. I mean, it's kind of like a burial ground. This mountain. This feels like
It's very haunting, isn't it?
It is. It's an incredible location.
Yeah. Well, I think what we should do is that little clearing there. Let's get in there. Let's get a fire going, and I think we should talk about the film.
Okay, we should probably get some food on that fire as well.
Yes.
hang on. Look, there's a what's that animal?
It's a rabbit.
It's a rabbit. Okay, grab it.
Grab the. Pass me that rock.
Kill it. Kill it.
Smash.
You don't have to say smash. We'll add the sound effects in later.
Right, this is me skinning the rabbit.
Oh man. Okay. I'm so
Right,
happy that you actually did that. Okay.
Right, it's cooking. It's now on the
Oh,
spit.
look at that. It's on a stick. Yep.
Yeah,
lovely.
we call that stick the spit. And it's now cooking nicely.
Nice. Wow.
We shall eat that soon.
Oh gosh. So when did you see Close Encounters? The first kind. The first time. The first time.
The first time. It would have been probably early to mid '80s, I would say.
When you were pretty much a kid.
Yeah, when I was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. You watched it with your parents.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they might have rented it on video. I think rented it on video. And I'll be honest with you, scared the living crap out of me.
As a kid, yeah. I mean,
that abduction scene is scary.
It is.
It's one of the. In fact, I will say that this scene has got one of my favourite scenes in a film ever.
It is incredible.
Yeah. And actually, not the abduction scene, but even though that's what scared me as a kid.
And little Barry, I mean, that kid knows how to act.
He does.
But the thing is, Spielberg led him all the way. Every single part of that kid's performance was Spielberg telling him stuff.
Well, there was that part, where he's looking up at the sky and he's smiling when in the abduction scene. Do you know how he did that?
Was he on?
Where Spielberg said, "I've got a present for you."
Yeah.
And he held up this thing because he put him in the position where his eye line would be looking to where the spacecraft is coming from.
Yeah.
And he held it there, and he's like, "Right, go." He said, "Right, I've got a present for you." And the kid looks up at it, and that's why the kid looks at it and smiles. He says, "Right," and he keeps taking little bits of wrapping paper off, and the kid's looking at it in wonder and smiling. He says, when he got the shot, he just gave him the toy. He was like, like a
because he says toy. He says toy in the actual film, which is perfect because a kid would look at a UFO and think toys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, okay, maybe it wasn't so much performance. Everything was just led.
Yeah.
So Spielberg knows how to work with kids.
Spielberg is just, it's kind of a genius.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When we talk, obviously, we're in the 70s right now, but if we were in the future, like 2020s, imagine that. Gosh. People will talk about, where people set up a shot and it'll take hours and hours to set up a shot where Spielberg will just go, stick the camera there, lighting there, great, let's shoot. And they're like, well, we've not set it up. He just instinctively knows now. I know he's been doing it a long time, but I get that sense that he's always been like that. Is it Maximum Overdrive? Was that him? Was that what that was called? No.
The car one.
The truck
Duel.
one, yeah. Duel, of course, Duel.
Yeah, Duel.
I get the feeling he is very improvising and,
Yeah, but he grew up with a Super 8 camera in his hand.
Yeah, he did.
That's the thing about him. He grew up and he literally just inserted himself into a studio one day. And said, "This is it." No, it's almost as if the hand met glove, done. It fits. Yeah. Unlike O.J. Simpson. That's a different reference, and that has nothing to do with the movie. That's the O.J. theme. So yeah, the whole idea of Spielberg making this movie, though, I mean, it's just, again, it's one of those boyhood dreams. It's like George Lucas and Spielberg. Throughout the early parts of their career, they just got out the way all the things that they loved as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
They love their Indiana Jones, which isn't a thing yet. And of course, UFOs and aliens and all of that, all the cool stuff that we all think are really fun. I mean, they had, and the beautiful thing is that they were all able to be auteurs. They were able to just do what the hell they wanted. They didn't have studios watching over them the whole time.
Which is amazing when he's just come off Jaws, which massively ran over, didn't it? And it was littered with problems.
Yeah,
loads of issues during the making of it. But for a studio, obviously it was a huge hit. But then for the studio to go, do it again, Stephen. There's your money.
Yeah, but because Amblin was his company.
Yeah,
and Lucas already had started Lucasfilm by this time with making Star Wars. Of course, he didn't know it was going to be a hit yet. Neither of them knew it was going to be a hit. So this was kind of like the 1977 was like the breakout year for everybody to become an established name.
Yeah,
this was it. This was like the year for that for them.
Yeah, well, the 70s, like, how many great directors came through in the 70s? It's
because they all had freedom of the work.
They all had freedom,
of course, until Heaven's Gate came along and ruined everything. Which, and that's the thing. I mean, if you actually just if you had to choose any decade, if you weren't allowed to watch any other film from, and you could only choose one decade to watch film, the 70s would be it.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't go for anything else.
No, it's everything you need is in there.
That's it.
And we've talked about the effects of this film. It doesn't look dated now. It won't look dated in the future.
No, it don't. I mean, if you can see all that caravan of equipment down there, I mean, it looks like old cameras that we wouldn't use anymore. I mean, digital, you can't compete with what you're looking at down there. I mean, it's all real stock, real film. Everything is immaculately presented in that movie. It's perfect. And you've even done a kind of I wouldn't say a parody, but it's more of an honoring pastiche of the in the car scene. With the lights and the mailboxes shaking. You've actually done a music video. Yeah, we did. Every Halloween we tried to do quite a few Halloween songs on our YouTube channel, and we did Calling Occupants of Interstellar Craft. Yes, that was the one.
Yeah, the Carpenters song. Well, actually, it was by someone else, and then the Carpenters covered it. I can't remember who originally did it, but and I thought, how perfect would it be to. So we did this thing where me and Tracy were en route to a gig and we're lost. And then we tried to intercut it with parts of, I should be quiet about this because if Spielberg finds out, he might sue me. Not that I've ever made any money out of a YouTube video. And then it was like Tracy gets a map to look where we are. Then he used the map that Richard Dreyfuss uses in the character.
Yeah,
and then, and then obviously it's the whole...
It was just fun cuts, exactly.
Yeah, it was really fun to do. It was quite difficult at parts. I wish I could have been running it because some parts of it. But that's because we talk about it. One of my favourite scenes in all of cinema is not when the car, when the light shines on the car and he looks up at it, there's all that, and then all the spinning around car and all things going nuts. It's straight after it. You know, when it's quiet and you can just see the crickets chirping, and then he just looks up. And you see this absolutely huge thing in the sky just moving, defying all laws of physics, silently. And it's just coming over him like that. And it shines that light on the road, and then it goes back up again.
Yeah.
That moment, that thing is one of my favourite moments in all of cinema.
It doesn't.
Everything I've ever seen in my life.
It doesn't overplay it, though. That's the thing. It keeps it very...
But it's the clever use of sound. Yeah. This is what Lynch understands and so good at, and all these people are. Is they know when to. It's all loud and chaotic, and there's a massive light on it, and all this stuff's going on in the car, and it's all crazy. Then all of a sudden, it's deadly quiet. Absolute silence.
They know how not to use sound. How to keep it under wrap. Yeah, just keep it quiet. Yeah, let the eyes see what's going on.
Yeah, and we know, like, conventional aviation makes a racket for anything to be going over you that close. And for this thing to be so silent and just drifting over in the sky,
And
it's absolutely colossal in size.
And then isn't it on the ear of the 3 that the flashlight suddenly goes on?
The ear of the 3.
And he goes, ah.
Yeah.
And
then the car switches itself back on. So there's a double whammy, which he learned from Jaws, Mr. Spielberg. Ear the 3 when the head comes down, when he's scuba diving. Not scuba diving, when he's diving.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the ear the 3 moment. That might be one of the very first ear the 3 moments, because that never does. That always scares me. And then the flashlight coming on, it's like, ah! And then you think, and then he kind of goes, and he switches it, and then the car switches itself on, and there's another jump scare.
Exactly,
Brilliant.
The double.
Oh, it's so good.
Double whammy. And
so we've learned from Jaws,
yes,
the jump scare. This time I'm going to give you 2 straight after each other, but you're not going to know when they're coming. Oh, he's so good, Spielberg.
And then everybody has it in their head that a jump scare is something, and now they don't know how to use it. Isn't that funny how, the masters are there to say, look, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
And then everybody fucks it up. Nobody knows how to really, they oversell a jump scare. It's like, how many jump scares are there in Close Encounters? Is it just that one?
2. Well, 2
just
straight
two.
after each
Just
other.
a straight. Yeah, you just explained that. Well, there were 2.
Because it's not a film, even though it has scary, horrific moments in it.
Yeah.
It's not a film about that.
But it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to. I mean, there's not one moment where it has to decide, okay, maybe we should just make this into a jump scare when all the glass shatters, when the boom, boom, whoosh, but it doesn't have to be. It's just seen, and it's spectacular, and it's enough without having jump scares throughout. And that's what the best memories we get are from films that use them probably once or twice, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And what I'm sort of realizing talking to you now is I have a thing about people who can use sound so well. I think that's why that moment that I was just talking about means so much to me. It's one of the reasons why Twin Peaks Fire Water is probably my favorite film, because at the end in the train car, when it's all horrific and all the horrors going on and it's absolutely horrible, all of a sudden it just goes deadly quiet, and Laura Palmer looks up and you see the angel of mercy over the other girl. It's dead quiet, and she's just looking at her. Oh, see, look.
Goose pimples.
Just talking.
That's just because it's really cold on the mountain here.
It might be that, but it's not, because it's quite warm.
Is that rabbit ready yet? Because
nearly. Oh, wait, there's a snake next to you. Chop head off.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll eat the snake as well, like Romance in Stone hasn't been made yet.
Stop adding stuff for me to edit.
You mean edit? This is going on in real time.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
This is radio.
He's just taking a drink from his nice pint glass that he got from.
Yeah, that's a Heineken. No, it'd be like a Coors Light.
Bud Light.
Yeah, Bud Light.
I don't know. Coors. Yeah. All of that. Yeah. So with silence, we used it in CACO3 as well. We you unwrapping that package was pretty much silent as well. We didn't use music in that. It's probably because we actually didn't have the idea of actually adding music to it would have been so chaotic. But
can you imagine, like, it's because there's supposed to be a tense scene and you put like.
So glad you brought that guitar along.
Yeah, well, it feels like a campfire moment, doesn't it?
It does.
Ma.
It's like,
Yeah. If anyone's got this far, which doubtful anyone has, apart from me and you.
We got
Yeah, we've just actually put ourselves there. We've changed and made better the course of movie history. That's what
we've been doing. We've been doing this. Yeah. We got John Carpenter to start thinking about the horror genre. Because he was just going to do sci-fi. Can you believe it? He could have jumped onto this project, Close Encounters, if we hadn't have pushed him away with
we pushed him in a different direction, didn't we? And thank God, thank the Lord we did.
Thank the Lord. Hey-o.
And obviously Sam Raimi's going to put that car in everything he ever does from now on, and and
I just
because Spielberg initially had this. And I was like, no, Stephen, do this.
Yeah, he was gonna use George Lucas, John Williams's bit that he
Star
was
Wars theme.
Star Wars theme.
Yeah, but now John Williams heard that. He's going to put that in Close Encounters instead of.
It's amazing.
That's it.
There's been a lot of chatter about how films kind of are released, you know, and I don't think we got it in the UK until '78. You know, there would have been like months after the release in the US.
Yeah.
You know, so
I remember it used to be like that. Being a kid, you know, we hear a film being released and we don't get it until months later.
And probably when E.T. was released in cinema, that was probably when you could actually rent Close Encounters. You know, because I think they all came out in the 80s, you know, on video for rental.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have seen it on TV until, what, 85? 80, you know, Christmas. It would have been a Christmas movie for like 85, 86.
Yeah.
It used to be years, man. We used to have such a... And this is how movies used to make all that money from cinema releases. It's like first release, then selected second release. And there wasn't even a thing called home video. I mean, they don't even know about home video yet.
That's insane to me.
It is. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. But you remember, you'd put your video in, you had the trailers before the film came on.
Oh, yeah.
And there'd be trailers for films that you were out in the cinema, you know, and you were like so excited and you couldn't wait to get out to see them. And
yeah, you know, I think 1995 was when it peaked with me. It's like Die Hard with a Vengeance. I remember the whole latency period of that coming out into the cinema. I wasn't allowed to watch it because I was too young, because I was like 14 at the time. Too young to watch it. Couldn't watch it on my own. So I had to wait for the rental about a year after. And I remember buying that rental for like £20.
Wow.
An X rental for 20 quid, just because I was so excited about it. And then I realised Die Hard with a Vengeance wasn't as good as it should.
Not quite as good as the others.
So,
which we discussed in our episode.
We did. And it's funny how, you know, things change so much with home video. And I can't imagine living in 1977 and just going to the cinema over and over again to watch something, because that's the only way you could actually see it over and over again.
It's crazy thinking about that now, isn't it? But yeah, obviously back in the 70s, you knew no different. So
I know
it was just the way it was. But in some ways, it was probably better.
I think so, because you were allowed to forget about a movie. You're allowed to forget. I mean, look, Immaculate is now available on to buy on DVD, and that other film with the teddy bear, I can't remember what it was called. Imaginary, yeah. Yeah, you can buy them all now.
Well, now a lot of times films are coming out and simultaneously going in the cinema and streaming.
I know, but it's like
at the same time, or there's a couple of weeks between them. It's like everyone's on demand. I need it now.
Doesn't the industry realize that's just basically creating this whole waste? It's such a waste. It's fast food. It's like they surely. I mean, is it too risky now to get people to come out to the cinema? Is it too risky to force them to go to the cinema or watch a film? Or are investors just that greedy that they just want to get at least get their money back? You know, all that money that they put into it, they want that money back before profit.
Yeah, I think they need to. I think a cinema going experience needs to be changed now. And it needs to not be as expensive as it is. Yeah. Because people, we've got a 65-inch TV in the front room. Exactly. I've got a surround sound system, which sounds just as good. Well, it's not as good, obviously, but it sounds pretty darn good. If I'm thinking, right, it's going to cost at least 30 quid in tickets.
Yeah. food.
Obviously,
Yeah.
people want to get food. I'd rather not get
I
food.
can't stand
You
it.
know, I mean, can you not go 2 hours without eating something? 'Cause you're a child, you know.
Watch a movie. Just watch the movie.
But if you're taking your family to watch a film, that 2 to 3 hour experience, and you think you're going to go and buy more food, it's going to cost you easy £60-70.
Yeah.
Or it could be at least 50 quid once, you know, with food. At least,
yeah, I mean,
say as a minimum, if you're going to buy food, it's going to be 50 quid.
You got fuel, you got parking, you got all of that. And it's like...
So make it cheaper, make the tickets cheaper. You still, the profit on the food, I know, because I used to work in a cinema and I started to write a sitcom about it because I was so burned by the experience.
Yes.
Was I know how much money they make and I know what they do behind the scenes to make sure they make unbelievable amounts of profit. You know, they'll try and lie to you and say they don't make money on tickets. Yes, they do make money on tickets. Because if they can't make money on the tickets, how the hell can they do senior tickets and child tickets and things?
Yeah,
yes, they make money on tickets.
But we're talking about the end here, that the end game of the actual cinemas themselves trying to make profit.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the thing. Cinemas need to kind of stop trying to be profit orientated. I mean, I don't know. Of course, that's like saying, don't make money. But
it can be fair. One of those huge sacks of popcorn that turned up, the guy who was managing the cinema I was working at the time bragged to me. He was like, so you can get, say, 5 or 6. Wow, we're going on a tangent, but I'm going with it. You can get 5 or 6 large tubs of popcorn, which are huge, out of one of these sacks of popcorn, right? You can get 5, 6 out of them. They were charging at the time £4.60 for a large box of popcorn.
Yeah.
A whole huge sack of popcorn cost them about £2.
Yes.
The profit of it. So maybe make it fair, maybe not make profit because we live in a capitalist society.
Yes.
So we need to make profit, but maybe not quite as much.
But the thing is, the beauty about the cinemas in the 70s was that they were all single screens. You know, you'd sell it to a screen, and multiplexes, that's when the problem started. That's when the problem started, because then they had to make profit to keep those multi-screens running.
Yeah.
These massive, gigantic wheel houses, you know, and if only they just made, if everybody had, if every town had their own single screen, they select which movies they put on, and don't just put the same movie on and run it 24 hours. Just do different showings. Tell people, you know, this is going on this time. This is going. But then they're thinking, can't do that.
3
anymore.
shows a day. You have one very late morning, early afternoon, one tea time, one in the evening. Done.
But I think Red Letter Media kind of highlighted this very recently, is saying that, you know, the reason why people don't like going to cinemas is that there are other people there.
Yeah.
And people don't like that, but they love to go to concerts. They like to go to places where they can socialize, where they can have, you know, people don't like to sit in a dark room and just stare at a screen at a movie and with other people, with strangers. It's become I think it's become the social phobia is a big part of it, and of course the comfort that you can get from home. I mean, nobody here in 1976 has, you know, very few of them still have TVs, you know, let alone color TV. So their home experience is nothing, and of course cinema experience has to be engaging, and TV is always passive, makes you relax. But nowadays I fall asleep in cinemas because I'm just too comfortable. You know, when you get the happy ending at the end, you know.
Whoa! What kind of film are you watching?
Oh, sorry, different cinema. Yeah.
That's the cinema. That's the cinema and Taxi Driver you're talking about.
That's the. But that'll be the only thing that will keep me awake, man. And then there's the cuddling. But yeah, sure. I mean, you know, for Close Encounters, I mean, this was it. I mean, you go to the cinema to see this massive hit because you know you're not going to see anything like it.
Yeah, and it's an event, and I suppose that's the beauty of these kind of things. At the time, it was an event. You had never seen anything like this before.
That's it.
There's very few times now you'll see a film and you go, "Oh, I've never seen that before," unless it's like massively indie. you know, that skin marink or whatever that was called. That I've never seen anything like that before. I can't say I enjoyed it, but my God, at least he tried to do something different.
I keep on saying to people, I want to go and see Furiosa in the cinema. In the cinema,
I do.
right? And I really do. I still want to go and see it in the cinema. But then by the time we get around it, it's going to be right there on my TV screen. And I'm going to go, oh, okay, I'll watch it here.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you know, it's like there's no time at all to kind of really pull me into that theater.
Well, that's the thing, and I think that film's come about 6 years too late as well, because it's not doing well at the cinema at all. Not many people go and watching it, so it will be on demand before you know it.
Yeah, because that's it. It'll be cheap.
Yeah,
that's it. Do you think we could have talked about Furiosa? We could have talked about anything, but we decided to go to Devil's Tower.
Wyoming. I do want to talk. I want to wait till we can watch Furiosa. I do really want to talk about that and the Mad Max films. Yeah. Well, we've done Mad Max a little bit, haven't we? But
Fury Road, yeah.
But I think Furiosa looks really good. So.
Yeah, because I even got the game Mad Max the game just to see what that was like, because apparently that was extremely cinematic. Right. But I don't know how involved I want to get into that discussion. But
so Close Count of the Third Kind.
Yes. So okay, it's getting dark.
Yeah.
I don't think Spielberg likes the crew to be out here. Okay, is that a telephone or is it?
That was a cricket chirping.
Okay. Just remember, we have sound effects we can insert.
Oh yeah, sorry. But how many amazing moments? Cool, get back to the film. How many amazing moments are in this film? If you just think about it, like absolute classic, pure cinema moments that, like, oh my God, that's incredible.
Écoutez. I mean, come on. They had the most amazing French director in this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Acting.
Yeah.
Truffaut. I mean, Francois Truffaut. I mean, it's like I still can't wrap my head around the idea that he wanted to be in this movie.
Could that have been, though, because he saw Jaws and thought, my God, there's something special
These
here.
Americans, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the French are apparently big on Hollywood. They always have been. I mean, they loved Evil Dead. You know, they were feverish about it. French
they would have French. Yeah, the French over anyone would have got the slapstick humor in Evil Dead.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, because it's so. And of course, again, what do the French enjoy from British, from American, from English speaking, is the lack of speaking. And there's one thing about Close Encounters is that it's not a talking film. There's no big deep conversations with people. It's just experience. Everything is an experience in that movie.
Absolutely.
And everything is kind of just, it almost feels like it's in real time. You're seeing things happen. I mean, Richard Dreyfuss and the kids, you know, the whole Goofy Golf thing. I mean, that's as vocal as it gets.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole conversation about them going to go to the cinema or play Goofy Golf. I love it. And Terry Garr in this movie, and everybody in it is so good and natural.
Yeah, because initially he didn't want Dreyfuss for it, did he? He wanted somebody else, and he tried a lot of different people.
Well, probably Harrison Ford, but I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think he tried Harrison Ford, but I know there was some. I've got James Dean in my head, but I might be wrong. But I know he got a lot of people who he wanted, and either some people he wanted didn't want to do it. It's like, I'm not doing some stupid UFO film, you know, and all this kind of stuff. And
because
it was around Watergate as well, wasn't it? It was the big scandal that's now on us has been made, but I think in the end he was like, all right, it's got to be you, hasn't it? It's going to be Richard Dreyfuss, you know, and
because bring him back because he was in Jaws, so he was in this one. I mean, it's kind of like. Yeah, I mean, it's acceptable. I think it works. And it
was kind of like in the 70s, directors had the muse, didn't they?
They did, and that's, you know, De Niro was Scorsese's muse.
Yeah.
George Lucas liked people.
Himself. himself.
Yeah, robots and droids.
Yeah,
But
marketing
yeah,
campaign.
yeah, there was Al Pacino, I think, leaned more to Barry Levinson. It's funny because it's all about the muse.
Like,
It's all about
yeah,
the muse.
Carpenter and Kurt Russell, that kind of thing. But
Yeah, John Carpenter, Kurt Russell.
but yeah, this film is it's a perfect film.
It is flawless. I mean,
I love it, yeah, especially the Spielberg cut. I do like the Spielberg cut.
Ultimate cut.
Yeah, I do,
Yeah.
and that when Spielberg on our anniversary was interviewed and he said, "What version we're going to see?" He's like, "My version. It's my version that we're going to see," because that's his vision.
That's the one where he actually does go up into the spaceship.
Yeah.
And we actually have a little moment with him communicating.
Yeah.
And there are extra bits like with the I think the scene of the family falling apart was longer as well.
Yeah, and Spielberg has said that if he made the film now, he would not be able to make a film where the dad basically abandons his family.
You're right. Yeah, I mean it was.
It's a film of the time because I think was he going through a divorce at the time?
Around about.
No, he wasn't.
No,
that
was Temple of Doom. That was Temple of Doom.
But what I like about it is it's not Dreyfuss's character's fault.
No.
All these people have had this experience and now are obsessed with this experience.
Yeah.
And it's changed the way they think. And now, as much as they love the family, they're obsessed with this otherworldly thing that they've experienced. But
it's about tolerance in that regard. Because
I suppose it is. But like with now, we'd have to make sure there's repercussions for this. We'd have to have what happened to the family, what happened to this, what happened to that. But no, that you don't answer those questions because, like you said yourself, it's experience. You're seeing his journey to its conclusion, and anything else, you don't see what happens. You don't see what the world is now like. Now we know that the spacecraft who's now just took Richard Dreyfuss. With the repercussions of this, we don't see.
No.
It's just the experience of these things that happen. We don't know
how secretive this is as well, and what happens.
Exactly.
No sequels. I mean, there are no sequels to this movie, and there's no spin-offs, no prequels. It's just a movie on its own, and you don't need to know anything about anything else. And isn't that funny? I mean, out of all the movies that you could speculate on, this one has so much possible speculation, such an open world possibility of what you could explore, and yet they never touched it.
Has there ever been like any graphic, not graphic, but any like sort of fan fiction, any novels of what happened when he's on the ship or anything?
I actually haven't. I've got the book.
Yeah.
Back in the future, I have the book, and I also have the what do you call it? The hang on. Let me just grab it. You see, Spielberg's so ahead of this marketing. He's also got the photo novel. Do you remember when you read the photo novel of Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
I used to have the Return of the Jedi photo novel.
You did?
Yeah.
They're pretty cool. So even in this, it comes back, and then the alien. Okay, but no, it's just bye, and then
it's just a self-contained film, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, look at this dude. Spielberg in a crib.
Look at him go.
Look at him go. But this is quite an interesting thing to have. But it's definitely the theatrical cut. This is definitely theatrical. It's oh, maybe it's not, because throwing the plants inside the house, that was what was cut as well. So it's kind of a mixture.
Because he's destroying his family, but it's not his fault.
Moments later, the rest of the household is roused by Roy tearing plants from the garden. Roy, please, leave those alone, please, Roy. What do you think you're doing?
It's like watching a film.
Don't worry, you're gonna love it. Trust me. Please stop that. Come in the house. We'll talk it over. Not now. I finally figured it out. Haven't you ever looked at something and it's crazy, and then looked at it another way and it makes perfect sense? No, never, Roy. Don't you see that you're scaring us? You're really scaring us. Don't be scared. I feel really good. Everything's gonna be okay. I can feel it. Everything will be really pretty.
Wow. That was beautiful.
Welcome.
Ah, it's like Shakespeare in the Park.
Shakespeare in the Park. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about the main character of this story. The mountain, Devil's Tower.
Yeah, it is a character.
It's a beautiful character. I mean, it's what pulls everybody to it, and
it's what pulled us here.
It was what pulled us here. I mean, yeah, I mean, okay, how much of that was you, and how much was that? I don't believe that you're being pulled by a. What was that? You see something in the sky just then? No, but are they throwing lights upon the mountain? Because I just saw something. That's my first bump on the mic. See, the crew have gone. Everybody's gone. They finished.
It's just us.
It's just us now.
Wow.
I'm starting to wonder if that vision that you had was possibly no. I mean, it's just a movie, right? It's just a movie.
Yeah, it's just a movie. It's just a movie.
Yeah.
I like saying my vision. Spielberg was a lot older. I don't know. Something odd. Don't know.
That's weird.
It's like it must be further in the future. Like he's making another UFO film or something. I don't know.
Well, we wouldn't be able to know that because we don't have technology. I mean,
no, we don't.
We destroyed the computer in that Dark Star episode.
We did.
So we are actually trapped here for forever unless there's another way. But what if there is another way? Devil's Tower. I mean, I actually wanted to visit there.
I'd love to. Yeah, I want to go there one day.
Even though we're there right now.
Yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
In the future, I want to come back.
Yeah, we have to come back.
See how much it's changed.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So is there anything else we want to add to Close Encounters?
I want to talk about the abduction scene. How amazing is that? Where all the toys come alive and everything, and
it's a tremendous scene, and it
that's
is
absolutely terrifying.
But it's very Poltergeist, right? The
it is.
Two scenes are very similar. I mean, if you put those two scenes together side by side, I wonder how similar they are.
That
Ghost,
would be
Poltergeist, and alien abduction.
Yeah,
it's the same thing, right?
Very, very. Yeah,
it's pretty much the same thing happens.
Yeah, but it's so well done. It's so brilliant.
It is.
And it's actually it's really scary. It's a really scary moment. It's like the door when all the Red Sox coming from behind the door, and when it's going around the house, and she's trying to do everything. That when it's coming down the chimney and she closes the fireplace
because he's like
this roar as it's coming down.
Because he's attracted to every single moment that they are actually close to getting him, and it's like every single second. He's like investigating some of that. She's basically not scared of what's out there. She's scared of her son
being taken because she knows they're coming for him.
Yeah, and
what a horrible! That's a terrifying. Being parents ourselves, that's a terrifying prospect. That someone's coming for your son, and ultimately, there's nothing she can do about it. Yeah, because like the aliens, or as is perceived in as you watch the film, are benevolent. The
peaceful. Yes.
Yeah, a peaceful race, which is probably why it's done the way it's done, where it's like a secret organization, like the military are there, but it's not like.
It's not.
It's not Independence Day, is it? No,
it could have been though. I mean, they played it so that it was not military. They played it military to a point because it's
more science. Yeah, it's more science, isn't it? It's more
so you could say that the leader of this time in this movie, whoever it was the leader of this country at the time, was interested in making first contact rather than protecting against an invading force.
Yeah, yeah. And it's as if they knew somehow that they were a peaceful race. What if they weren't?
Yeah.
What if the moment, it's lovely, and what if the Richard Dreyfuss goes on the ship, and then it's like, oh, it's lovely, and the credits, and it's flying in the sky, it's like a ballet in the sky, this beautiful ship, and the moment we go out of our atmosphere, they rip him apart.
And that's what Mars Attacks is.
Yeah,
that's the thing, and it's like, well, it's a very idealized vision, because I can't imagine that. I mean, if this actually happened, that we wouldn't be that accepting. We'd be paranoid.
Oh, we'd be terrified.
It wouldn't happen this way. The way that it happened in this movie is so. It's so Pinocchio. It's so Disney. It's so.
It is. But well, funnily, because they play that, don't they?
Yeah,
they play.
It's perfect.
It is, and
it's
that's
like...
why it's secretive, though. That's why it's a secretive organization that's made contact, because they probably know that.
Yeah.
They know that if the military, got wind of this, they'd be like, no. We shoot it down, we steal the technology.
So the leaders in the military, they just think that there's some sort of a pandemic, like foot and mouth disease spreading.
Yeah, well, that's what it kind of is, isn't it? People think, because they've got masks on, and when they take the mask off, they know there's nothing wrong.
So the amazing thing about this film is that the government is not a part of the cover-up. The benevolent scientists are in charge. Science is in charge, not the military or politicians.
Yeah,
that seems amazing, Yeah,
I never thought of it that way.
They pulled the wool over the government's eyes, and they're treating the government like they're the people.
Yeah, because
it's amazing.
The aliens are speaking in a language that government would never be looking for. And what's that language? Music.
It's too good. Yes.
The conversations they have are between a musician and the alien race.
Your father was a computer scientist. Your mother was a musician. When the spaceship lands, how do they communicate?
That's a very good question. I like that. You've answered the question.
They make music on their computers, and they are able to speak to each other, aren't they?
And you see, I'd love to say, I intended that, and I realized that was my mother and father, but not until this moment.
I mean, politicians are not known for their music, are they? I mean, come on.
Because when they're saying, there's a part in the film where that guy on the keyboard is playing, it's like, did all this stuff, and they're talking back and forth. They're like, this isn't music, this is a conversation.
It is.
And I've always said this, because I can't speak Japanese, but I could go to Japan and play, because I can understand music. So I can go to Japan and have a conversation with music, because it's a language in itself. Yeah.
It is. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Music is the only thing that's ever going to unify us.
Ladies and gentlemen, 0.0005%.
Bingo. Boom.
There it is.
It is music. And they do this. They know this. John Williams knew this.
Yeah.
And my gosh, it worked. It worked.
Oh, this film is so. What do you prefer? Would you say Star Wars or Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I mean, I can't.
Hands down.
And
it's another film that it always looks fresh when I watch it. It looks incredible. The effects are amazing.
Yeah.
They stand up now. It's all miniatures, isn't it? And that, but it's just done so well. It's just Spielberg is a masterful. What happens now when a Spielberg film comes out? Because he did he did West Side Story, and I went in it thinking, this will be all right. I'll watch it. It'll be all right.
It wasn't like,
But this is the thing, because I watched it and I was like, oh, that was absolutely brilliant. And I'm like, of course it's brilliant. It's Steven Spielberg. Of course it's brilliant. And it's like every time he makes a film, now you're thinking, oh, I'll watch it, but I haven't really got high hopes for it. And I watch it and I go, that was brilliant. Of course it's brilliant. It's Spielberg made it. Of course it's brilliant.
It's so difficult because he's been thrown into the whole thing of movie equals suspicion, paranoia, or am I being sold something, missold something? Am I being hyped up with something that's not going to be good? And unfortunately, the giants. I mean, look at Francis Ford Coppola. I mean, apparently, before we came back in time, he was going to make Megalopolis, and I bet that's going to be treated cold.
Well, it's interesting, because Megalopolis, he can't find anyone to distribute it.
No,
that's it. Netflix wouldn't give Lynch any money to make what would have been his very last film.
Yes, everybody. They said no to Lynch.
No one said no to Lynch.
This is the crazy thing. The people who we know are always bankable, always. I mean, no matter what Lynch does, I mean, the Straight Story is a beautiful story. Anything that he's involved with. I mean, there was a Harry Dean Stanton's last film, Lucky, not directed by David Lynch, but it may well have. I mean, it was that good. But these are the small movies, and it's almost as if these directors their movies have been made small. I mean, I don't know what happened with the Fableman. Spielberg's Fableman. It wasn't as big a hit as he wanted it to be.
Have you watched it?
I still have not watched it. It's a
great film. Did you know that David Lynch is in it?
I know. He plays John Huston.
He plays John Ford.
John Ford. I don't know John Huston. John Ford, yeah. But I still have not seen it. It's like it's off my... It's almost, the information that comes to me, bombarded. Yeah. It's like... I want to watch The Fableman. And all of a sudden, something just pushes it out the way.
Yeah, well, again, that was another film I went to. I was kind of like, I'll watch it because my mates watched it and he said it was good. It'll be all right, I guess. And I watched it. Actually, no, it's brilliant. Of course it's brilliant. It's Spielberg.
And Lynch is in it.
Spielberg probably...
Yeah.
Is he the most prolific director ever, Spielberg? I'm not saying your favourite, but can you think of someone whose output
consistently
is as incredible and as in technically proficient as him? Can you think of anyone else?
Yeah, and I don't know why we have a doubt, why there is ever any doubt. I mean, not every single thing that he's going to do is going to be absolute gold mine.
No, of course not.
I mean, there are smaller movies that he's made that are actually really gorgeous and enjoyable. I mean, Always is an enjoyable film.
Yeah, he did. Was it Catch Me If You Can?
Catch Me If You Can, yeah. It's a smaller film, it's an enjoyable film, and it was really well received.
But it's also in the same respect, he can't constantly be doing huge, massive blockbuster films. In the same way that, people ridicule De Niro now for not putting out the kind of films that he used to. But can you imagine if he was putting that amount of effort into every single film that he did to Raging Bull and Taxi Drive? He'd be dead by now. You can't put that much stress on yourself.
But what would he do? What would he have done? What film projects would he have done that wasn't gangster related, that wasn't hoodlum, it's like let the guy do what he wants to do.
Yeah, we owe him that now.
There's choices. I think he's allowed to. And I think that's probably the back. We don't have to go and watch them. We don't have to go and watch The Fuckers or Grandpa's Bad Grandpa or whatever it is that's coming out. Sure, we thought that Hide and Seek might have been better.
Yeah, but he's always good in it.
He's still good in it.
And the same way as Spielberg, even though the film isn't perhaps not huge or like this massive thing, it's still always going to be good.
Yeah.
Because it's Spielberg. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. But I think it's, when you've been the king, the reigning king for a decade, for several decades, 70s, 80s and 90s, Spielberg, you can't dispute that. Right, right through Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan and all that.
His take on War of the Worlds was in the 2000s, wasn't it?
2005, I remember seeing. I saw that.
Brilliant.
I saw that in Prague.
Wow. Get
it
uni
was-
travel.
Yeah, I saw that in Prague, and that was, yeah, it's funny. It's probably the last Spielberg film I actually saw in the cinema. Yeah, I think it was. So now it's like 40 years on, 50 years on. He's had a 50-year career. He's going to want to be doing different films. He's not going to be wanting to do blockbusters, and blockbusters aren't really a thing that are happening anymore. I mean, blockbusters, they've had their day. Titanic, and that's it. It's done.
Yeah.
But then, when you
Incidentally,
when
now you mentioned Titanic. Sorry, just to butt in. A student said to me, we were talking about films.
Here we go.
A student literally said to me, "What's the name of the boat out of the film Titanic?" I shit you not. Please leave that in. I was like, "What?" I thought they were joking.
Wow.
It was no. What the
Yeah.
the ship? What was the ship called? I went, Titanic. It's oh right, yeah. Oh yeah, I get it now.
Yeah, Titanic. Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Oh man, it's yeah. Oh, let's not go there because that's like, whoa, come on, people.
Right.
But yeah, okay, I'll give you Endgame, and I'll say that yeah, but like you say, once you've gone that big, everything else seems kind of like it's
Yeah.
like that's the problem. Hollywood wants to try and top everything into bigger and bigger and bigger, and it knows how to play that. It knows how to do that, how to get you. But then all we're left with is now Dune, which is apparently a very good film. I mean, I saw the first one; it was okay. I felt a bit meh. It was just too. I think the problem with films now is that they are playing all those. They're trying to play emotions, but not by letting you have emotions, but by actually putting emotions into the film to tell you now you need to feel sad.
Yeah.
Now you need to. This is making you feel sad, But in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, you are genuinely. I mean, you are feeling for. I felt for Terry Garr and the family. I felt for them. I mean, what happened to them? You do think about it. It lingers. But movies nowadays, they just say, "Oh, don't worry about that. Worry about this. Now worry about that. I'm going to tell you what to worry about. Worry about this right now. Worry about this over here.
Yeah.
Worry about that over there." And it's not. You're not worried about it, but you feel as though you have to because you're being told that you've got to be worried about it.
Yeah.
And that's
and that, again, the power of music. The music tells you that. You can hear the swell, and the music is telling you, right now you're supposed to feel sad. Now you're supposed to feel in love.
Is music the
now you're supposed to feel
only
that.
genuine part of a movie now? I mean, is music still the only thing that is guiding people authentically, should I say?
I would say perhaps in some films, not all films. I think people still approach their work with integrity and are trying to make something decent and we use things in the right way. But
we need to find these movies. We need to find those moments and say, look, we need to get out of this time travel issue so that we can go back to the present and start, enjoying.
That's the problem. That's what's wrong because we're in the past. We're making cinema better. Cinema in the future, where we are now, is declining because we're not there saving the cinema.
This whole time travel thing is actually symbolic of how we feel. We want to go back to the 70s. We want to be there on Devil's Tower, watching it being filmed because we want these moments. We want to be able to see history in the making.
Yeah.
And I don't think cinema is doing that in the present day. It's not making any history. It's kind of dragging it.
If you look at this as a blockbuster from the 70s, we're talking about music. Is like I just want to make the point that I think in a lot of blockbuster cases, the music is trying to manipulate your feelings and tell you how to feel because maybe the script isn't quite up to it or whatever it might be. But in Close Encounters of the Kind, the music's the narrative.
Music is the narrative. It's the story. Well, like we say, there's not a lot of dialogue, but the music is a voice.
Yeah.
Everything you know is in that music, and that's John Williams.
It is. But like music in The Exorcist, you can't hear Tubular Bells now without thinking about The Exorcist.
Oh, it's synonymous. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like my 6-year-old listens to it in his bed on his Alexa first thing in the morning, waking up to that, and it's to him it's just beautiful guitar, piano. And I'm lying there
that's
thinking,
terrifying.
He's literally. I wake up.
What am I going to walk into?
That's what's amazing. I wake up and I'm like, and he's in there, just lying there, just so happy, chilled, and relaxed, and loving it. And I'm thinking, shit, shit, this is not good.
Or you walk in, he just throws up all over you.
I know.
One day that will happen. It'll be poorly, bless him. And I don't want this on your kid ever, so hopefully it doesn't happen. But one day he's not going to be feeling well, and you're going to walk in. Tubular Bells is going to be playing, and he's going to be sick, and you'll be like, "Oh my god!"
I know, but that's the thing. It's like I say to the boys is that I can't wait for you to see all these films. I mean, that there's so much that I want to watch, and I want to see them watch them again, you know, and it's like I have to hold back and just wait until they're old enough because I really want them to watch American Werewolf in London, Exorcist, and all that. But right
isn't
now,
that interesting though? Because like
is so beautiful and pure.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Close Encounter of the Third Kind. It's a bloody masterpiece. It's absolutely amazing.
It is, and if you haven't seen it, then
you go watch it. You absolute moron.
It's like, what are you missing? I mean, yeah, and just get whatever DVD, Blu-ray has the theatrical and the Ultimate Edition, but get the Spielberg edition as well. You know, just go nuts, enjoy. It's well worth the pennies that you would be paying, you know, to just watch a masterpiece. And
yeah,
wow, can't say more than that.
No.
Do you know what? I'm getting a similar feeling. Do you remember when we did that podcast about alien abduction and we went to that restaurant called Tiramisu? Oh, ice cream.
What's that? What's that light?
What's that? Ice cream. Toys. What? What's going on, Andy?
They're surrounding us. What? That coach thing. What's that?
Whoa! Is this special effects or what? Is this... Are they... this isn't Spielberg, right?
No, they've all gone. Whoa, there's a light surrounding us. What's this? What's happening? What's that? I feel myself floating. I feel myself rising.
No. They're taking us, Andy. They're taking us.
Oh,
They're
no.
back.
Oh, no.
It's tiramisu all over again.
Oh.
No. Andy, wait. No, I'm going to grab your foot. Because...
No, you're coming with me.
Oh no, that's not his foot. It's the guitar. Phew. Different. Oh, I was worried then. Okay, I've got your guitar, Andy. I'm coming. I'm coming up now. Grab your guitar quickly. We're gonna have to play ourselves out of this. It's too late. Your guitar's just got into the. You got it. There it is. Grab it.
Get it.
Quick, play that tune. Play the tune from. Oh. Well.
To be continued.
And cut.
I feel the need for speed.
Ow!
Charlie, don't surf.
This is fantasy.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Quit griping.
I like griping.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.